Welcome to the deep dive. We've got a really fascinating batch of search queries you sent in, all centered around space.
Yeah, definitely seems like Blue Origin is top of mind for many people.
Exactly. And not just Blue Origin itself, but some very famous names linked with it. So
Yeah.
our mission today is sort of to unpack all this curiosity.
Figure out who might be going to space, maybe when, who they're going with, based purely on these searches.
That's the plan. We've got names like Katy Perry, Gail King popping up, Lauren Sanchez too, Jeff Bezos' partner.
And also some interesting themes like all-female crews and the Carmen line even gets a mention.
Okay, so let's dive in. First thing, pretty obvious, but worth stating. Blue Origin, owned by Jeff Bezos. That connection is crystal clear in the searches.
Absolutely. Loads of queries basically confirming that association. It's the foundation for everything else, really.
Right. And building on that, there's a definite buzz around Blue Origin's, current activities.
Lots of Blue Origin Launch Today searches.
And even a specific mission. Mission ENS 31. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, NS almost certainly stands for New Shepard. That's their reusable suborbital rocket.
Oh, okay.
The NS-31 would be the 31st New Shepard mission, presumably. The Today searches, maybe combined with that specific date, we saw April 14, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
It suggests people are either watching something live or, expecting something very soon.
Gotcha. Okay, now, this is where it gets kind of wild. Katy Perry.
Oh, yeah. The volume there is something else.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Did Katy Perry go to space? Is Katy Perry going to space? Why is Katy Perry going to space? When is Katy Perry going to space?
And even down to the details, like how much did Katy Perry pay or how long will she be in space?
On Katy Perry Space Launch Live. It's like people were expecting to tune in.
It really shows you the power of celebrity, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Whether it's true or just rumor, linking a huge star like Katy Perry to space travel just massively boosts public interest.
Totally. It connects this, far-off concept of space to someone really familiar.
Exactly. And we see a similar thing, though maybe not quite as intense, with Gail King.
Right. Gail King going to space. Gail goes to space. Sometimes Oprah's name pops up nearby, too.
Yeah, interesting proximity there. It's that same pattern.
Right.
Familiar, trusted media personalities potentially venturing into this new frontier.
And then there's Lauren Sanchez. Queries mention her as Jeff Bezos' fiancée, sometimes wife, clearly associating her directly with Blue Origin as well.
It really underscores how much the human element, the personal stories behind the company, drive curiosity.
That seems to connect to another strong theme, the interest in all-female crews.
Definitely. Searches like Blue Origin, female crew, all-women spaceflight, 6 women going to space.
And specific names came up there, too. Ishia Bowe and Carrie-Anne Flynn.
That's right. Mentioned in connection with a Blue Origin female crew, suggesting maybe there was talk or reporting about a potential all-woman mission. It shows a real interest in, representation.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, shifting gears a bit, the Carmen line, people are asking about that.
The boundary of space.
Right. So just for clarity, that's generally accepted as what, 100 kilometers up?
Around 100 kilometers, yeah. About 62 miles. It's the altitude where traditional aeronautics, like using wings for lift, stops working and, well, space begins.
And Blue Origin's New Shepard does aim to cross that line, right? Give passengers that astronaut experience, even briefly.
Correct. Crossing the Carmen line is a key part of their value proposition for space tourists. So it makes sense people are asking, wanting to understand the definition.
It shows it's not just about the idea of space, but the specifics, too, which leads to the practical questions.
Like how to watch.
Exactly. Blue Origin Launch Live. Where to watch Blue Origin launch, how to watch.
And the big one, Blue Origin spaceflight cost. Always a point of curiosity.
Always. It all points towards maybe a growing feeling that this isn't just for billionaires anymore. Or at least a hope that it won't be eventually. People want the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, the logistics, the accessibility. It's becoming less sci-fi, more potential reality, even if still distant for most.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Looking at everything you sent in, there's huge speculation about Katy Perry and Gail King going to space with Blue Origin.
Huge speculation, yeah. But based on these specific searches, we don't actually have confirmation that those trips happen or are definitely scheduled. It's more about the intense public interest in the possibility.
Right. What is clear is the strong focus on Blue Origin's actual launches, like maybe NS-31, and a real enthusiasm for things like potential all-female crews.
And that general excitement about spaceflight overall, grounded by curiosity about technical details like the Carmen line and practicalities like viewing and cost.
It's this really interesting mix, isn't it? Celebrity culture meeting the final frontier, practically.
Definitely. So this deep dive really highlights that intersection: celebrity, public curiosity, and the actual progress of private space companies.
Which leaves us with a question, I guess. What does this blending of pop culture figures and serious space endeavors actually mean for how we, as a public, see space exploration moving forward? Does it help or hinder? Something to think about.